Bell-bottom pants and disco music, your youth in 1978. If you were in your 20s back then, you can still feel it, can't you? Those Saturday nights, when the whole city seemed to glow like one giant dance floor. The pulse of the music. The spinning lights. The endless rhythm of moving feet. They called it the age of disco. And with it came a fashion statement that defined an era, the bell-bottom. Close your eyes for a moment. You're back in 1978, a Saturday afternoon. The streets are alive with energy. Record shops on every corner, plastered with fresh posters, Saturday Night Fever, John Travolta, in that white suit, finger pointing to the sky. From little speakers outside the store, a beat spills onto the sidewalks. Even people carrying groceries can't help but sway to the rhythm pulsing through the city. You stroll past a clothing shop. And there they are, rows of bell-bottoms lined up in the window, indigo denim, burgundy velvet, shimmering polyester, crisp white cotton. The mannequin wears flared pants with a wide-collared shirt, top buttons open. A gold chain catches the light. You smile to yourself. That's tonight's outfit. Because tonight, you're going dancing. The sun dips low. Shadows stretch across the pavement. You can feel the energy of the city growing, gathering momentum, as if the streets themselves are alive and breathing. By the time you reach your favorite club downtown, your heart is already thumping. It moves in time with the bass reverberating from inside. Even before you reach the door, you feel it, the bass thumping in your chest. The drums pulling you inside. You push open the door. And suddenly, you're in another world. A disco ball spins overhead, throwing 1,000 pieces of light across the floor. Perfume lingers in the air. Sequins, satin, and silk sparkle with every flash. People dance without hesitation. Couples glide like movie stars. Friends laugh as they bounce in time. Confident young men slide across the wooden floor, hands cutting through the air, shoes tapping sharp and clean. And you join them. Because tonight, music isn't just sound. It's your heartbeat. Your breath. The language of your generation. No song captured that spirit more than the Bee Gees' Staying Alive. When those falsetto voices soared, life going nowhere, somebody help me, yeah, it lit something inside of us. It wasn't just lyrics. It was the voice of a whole generation. We were young, growing up in the aftermath of the Vietnam War. We were living through the rapid changes of the 70s. We carried doubts, questions, and burdens. But we were also hungry for joy, for life, for a place to belong. And disco gave us that place. On the dance floor, the worries melted away. Under the spinning lights, everybody became one with the rhythm. And bell-bottoms, wide, bold, extravagant, were the perfect symbol of that freedom. Do you remember the first time you slipped into a pair? It wasn't just clothing. It was a declaration. The flare spread like wings. Every step felt like a performance. On the dance floor, the fabric swayed with every beat, catching the lights as if it, too, was dancing. Platform shoes thudded against polished wood. Shirts blazed with wild patterns. Chains, chokers, headbands, these accessories all shimmered. That was disco style. Not just dressing, living. Disco taught us how to shine, to dare. To step into the light and say, this is me. Back then, we didn't think of it as a golden age. We just thought we were young, happy, alive. But looking back now, oh, those were luminous years. We'd head out with just a few crumpled bills in our pocket, enough for the cover charge, maybe a soda. And still dance until our legs gave out. We'd stand outside the club at 2 in the morning, sweat dripping, hearts still pounding, laughing like life would always be that bright. Sometimes it was a first date. A clumsy slow dance. A glance under the disco ball, that rare moment when a soft song played and two people leaned gently into each other. Sometimes it was just friends, arms linked, spinning and laughing until the floor felt like it was vibrating beneath us. The conversations, the whispered jokes, the accidental touches, they all became part of the night, woven into the music. Sometimes we'd sit for a moment at the bar, sharing a soda or a cocktail, watching the dancers move, imagining the world outside couldn't touch us here. Those memories, they never leave you. Because disco nights erased boundaries. You could be a factory worker, a student, an office clerk, an artist, it didn't matter. Once you stepped inside, the barriers disappeared. Skin color didn't matter. Status didn't matter. On the dance floor, everyone was equal. That was disco's true magic. It wasn't just music, it was belonging. And oh, how we belonged. Every laugh, every stomp of a shoe, every spin and twirl, it was a celebration. It was life lived with arms wide open, hearts beating fast, souls daring to shine. Sometimes, after the music faded, we'd step outside. The night air crisp against our skin. City lights reflecting on wet pavement. Our shoes still tapping an invisible rhythm. We'd talk about dreams, about love, about where we'd go next. It felt like anything was possible. But like every golden age, it had its sunset. By the early 80s, new sounds rose, rock, punk, new wave. People grew tired of glitter. And then came 1979's infamous Disco Demolition Night in Chicago. A baseball stadium filled with thousands of burning records. A loud rejection of everything disco had been. The dance floor slowly emptied. The disco ball stopped spinning. And disco faded into memory. But the memories? They never faded. Even today, when the Bee Gees or Donna Summer come on, something stirs inside you. You remember the laughter of friends. The stomp of shoes on polished wood. The tug of your bell-bottom hem under your heel. You stumble and laugh even harder. The scent of hairspray, of cologne, of the club itself, warm, alive, electric. You remember being young, free, alive for every beat. Because disco was never just music. And bell-bottoms were never just fashion. They were proof that once, we lived with all our hearts. We danced with all our strength. We loved with all our courage. Sometimes, in the quiet of the morning, I think about those nights. The way the city felt endless, like it belonged to us. The way the music lingered even after it stopped. The way friendships were forged in the rhythm of laughter and lights. And even now, whenever those memories rise, you can still hear it, can't you? The familiar falsetto of Staying Alive. It wasn't just a song. It was us. And maybe that's the beauty of it. Disco wasn't about perfection. It was about joy. It was about daring to shine, even if the world outside didn't understand. It was about love, laughter, and life, all spinning together in a glittering, endless circle. Sometimes, I close my eyes, and I can see it all again. The lights. The people. The music. The smell of the club. The feel of the floor beneath my feet. The thrill of stepping out in bell-bottoms, wide and bold, ready to take on the night. We were young. We were alive. We were unstoppable. And even if the music stopped, even if the clubs closed and the glitter faded, those nights remain. Forever. In our memories, in our hearts. In the way our feet tap to a rhythm we can still hear, if only we listen. Ah, ha, 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 staying alive. Staying alive. Always alive. And if this story brought back a spark of your own memories, or made you feel the beat of a time long gone, imagine what other stories await. Subscribe to the channel, and join us on more journeys through the music, the fashion, and the unforgettable nights that shaped a generation. Because every story deserves to be heard, and every beat deserves to be felt.